Republican-controlled legislature has passed laws that ties the hands of the incoming Democratic governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General. Not only that, they are seeking to overturn proposals passed by voters that would allow persons to register to vote up until the day of the election. And they passed 2 bills that would water down another voter initiative. This one would hike the minimum wage and require employers to provide sick pay. Let me get this straight. So the voters elected Democrats statewide, now Republicans, they want to change it all. Joining us right now is Wendell Anthony. He is the head of the Detroit NAACP. Reverend Anthony, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Roland. Thank you for getting my name right. This is Reverend Wendell Anthony, as you said. My brother.
Of course I got your name right, okay? Because you the one sent me a text with your statement earlier about what's happening. So don't let me start talking about you wearing your gator. See, why you gonna go ahead and go there? All right. So, but here's what I'm trying to understand. What the hell is the point of voters passing an initiative if the legislature is going to say we don't have to follow it?
Well, that's precisely what we're concerned about, Roland. This is the highest level of hypocrisy and deceit and treachery. It basically grows out of the fact that somebody didn't get the memo that the Democrats won the election in the state of Michigan, that they are trying to set themselves up to maintain their bases of power. We won the governor's office. We won the Secretary of State's office. We won the Attorney General's office and a number of offices underneath that. In addition to that, we had 2 bills, 2 proposals, Proposal 2 and Proposal 3. One dealt with the redrawing of the congressional lines so that you could not pack, stack, rack congressional districts in your favor, which means that even when you outvote the other folk, they still wind up winning because of the way they have constructed the congressional lines. We won that. We won it overwhelmingly. Everybody in Michigan wanted that to the degree that we need to move away from that. And we also won the greater access to the voting booth. In other words, we won the proposal which promotes the vote, which gives us greater access to the voting booth. You can vote early registration, even up until and including the day of voter registration. We passed those initiatives. Now the Republicans are a sense of anger, are a sense of trying to put themselves up in preparation for 2020, trying to reduce, trying to retract, trying to subtract, to eliminate the voting access and possibilities of people are maintaining their power and come with all these bogus proposals, these bogus bills in their haste to reduce the power and the impact of the incoming administration. It is the greatest heist. It is the greatest theft of political processes since Jesse, let me get that right, since Jesse James and his brother Frank James were robbing trains in the Missouri territories. It is a theft of the highest order, and we cannot abide that.
Well, and again, to look at this, I mean, I understand, first of all, we understand politics. And so what they're trying to do by tying the hands of the new Democrat governor, Attorney General, and Secretary of State. But those voter initiatives were not Democratic voter initiatives. Those were voter initiatives voted on by Democrats, Republicans, and independents. That is the will of the people.
All of it is the will of the people. Roland, you're talking like you make sense, like this is based upon pragmatism, that this is based upon reality. You just talked about comedy with Kevin Hart and the situation he's in. Well, unfortunately, this ain't comedy. This is tragedy. This is a result of people plotting and strategizing, not only in Michigan, but in Wisconsin. They're doing the same thing. In North Carolina, 2 years ago, for the same reasons that we are objecting to this now, the federal courts have reversed and said what they did in North Carolina was unconstitutional. Yes, Republicans voted for Proposal 2 and Proposal 3. Independents voted for it. Democrats voted for it. Everybody voted for it who supported those proposals. Now, these rogue Republicans, and that's precisely what they are rogue Republicans who, if you really are talking about and concerned about voter fraud, this is Democratic fraud. They're using the guise of their majority in the House and in the Senate in Michigan to pass laws that are against the will of the people. I don't hear President Trump talking about we need a voter integrity commission. I don't see Chris Kobach leading the charge to say we need to come in Michigan and in Wisconsin and in North Carolina and other places to correct the wrongs that have been made. This is a short-term gain, but it's going to cause long-term pain. We must not, as a voting electorate, step back. We must step up. This is the kind of mess, Roland, and you know it. This is the kind of stuff that discourages people from voting. This is the kind of stuff that says, my vote doesn't matter. Why should I go to the voting booth? Why should I do what Reverend Anthony is suggesting to take my soul to the poll? Because they're ruining the spirit in my soul. I'm simply saying that we cannot abide this. We are winning, y'all. If we were not winning, they would not be scheming and stealing and perpetrating these frauds upon the people. We are right at the edge of turning the corner in a whole lot of places in our country. We turned it in Michigan. We turned it in Georgia and in Florida. We won those elections, Roland. You know it as well as I do. They stole those elections. Ain't nobody talking about let's send the commission down there. We ain't heard Trump say nothing. I hear the sound of crickets. I don't hear nobody saying anything about the real fraud, the real deceit, the real thievery that's going on in our nation. If you really want to do something for democracy, then let the will of the people prevail. You might get over today, but tomorrow we coming right at you.
Last question. The governor, Rick Snyder, he could veto these bills or he could sign them. He has 14 days to review them. I'm looking at the Detroit News, and he said what took place. This is the will of he said largely they've set their own course, talking about Republican-led legislature. And he said, I'm waiting to see what comes to my desk, and I'll review it in a thoughtful fashion. I'm going to look at it from what I believe is the best public policy answer for the state of Michigan, just like I have for 8 years. So is it time now? Is it your plan to put pressure on the governor to veto these bills that are passed?
Absolutely, Roland. Not only to veto them if they get to them, but to not sign the bills. It's legacy time. Rick Snyder is on the way out. He carries with him the legacy of Flint, Michigan, who still and cannot get the kind of clean water and new pipes that they deserve. One of the communities in America that is still suffering after 2 to 3 years from poisoned water. You don't want to go out that way. Don't go out having turned the page on democracy by allowing this hypocrisy to prevail. We're asking the governor and calling upon him to do the right thing. He knows that within his own heart and within his scope of political acumen that this is wrong. This is a tragedy of the highest order. You remember, Roland, that when Nancy Reagan, First Lady under Ronald Reagan, was serving, she waged a campaign. It was doing what they call the war on drugs. Well, this is a war on democracy. And what did Nancy Reagan say when they were talking about how to defeat this? She said to young people all over the country, just say no. Well, Rick Snyder, Governor Snyder, when it comes to your desk, just say no. This won't go, and go out in a bang. Don't go out in a boom, to the degree that you did not exercise the right option and do the right thing. We must not be silent. We don't plan to be silent. We must keep the pressure on. Dr. King said it well. The time is always right to do what is right. Now's the time to do the right thing and vote no, and don't sign these deceitful, treacherous, fraudulent bills under the guise of expanding democracy when you're really lifting up hypocrisy.
Reverend Wendell Anthony, of course, President, Detroit NAACP. I really, really need you, Reverend, to come out of your shell.
Roland, I'm going to do the best I can. You know, I'm such a shy guy, and I force myself. But whenever I see you, I just get so inspired that I can't help myself.
I appreciate it, Reverend Anthony. Thanks a bunch.
All right, Doc, take care.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. The holidays just around the corner. Now is the time to order holiday cards for family and friends. This year, you can create custom holiday photo cards quickly, easily, and affordably at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com. It is your holiday photo card headquarters with thousands of unique Christmas cards and other designs to choose from. And look, it's very simple. All you got to do is upload your family photos and get them on Facebook or Instagram, personalize the text, and you're done. It's that simple. Simplytoimpress.com prints your cards professionally on your choice of premium cardstock in just a few days and rushes them straight to your door. The New York Times Wirecutter named Simply to Impress their favorite custom photo card service. Simply to Impress even offers foil cards and hundreds of great holiday designs for your business as well. Place your order today and to save 30% and get free shipping. Just enter the promo code DEAL, that's DEAL, at the checkout. Save big on holiday photo cards today using promo code DEAL at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.